I'm Alex Morash, and let's clear up the world view. Man arrested after displaying homophobic sign at UK anti-immigration protest. A 47-year-old man has been arrested in Southampton, England, after allegedly displaying a homophobic sign during an anti-immigration protest outside the Highfield House Hotel, a site that has faced repeated demonstrations and even an arson investigation earlier this year. Video shared online shows the man draped in a Union flag and holding a sign reading, "God hates fags." The phrase echoes language used by the Westboro Baptist Church, notorious in the U.S. for anti-LGBTQ+ demonstrations and for picketing the 1998 funeral of murdered gay teenager Matthew Shepard. Hampshire police say the man was arrested on suspicion of several offenses, including possessing a Class B drug, failing to give his name or address, and, quote, using threatening or abusive words or behavior likely to cause harassment, alarm, or distress, end quote. He has been released on bail while the investigation continues. Local officials have condemned the incident. Police say evidence teams are reviewing footage to identify any further offenses. It's always disturbing to see just the lack of free speech in the United Kingdom. We're seeing this whether we're talking about this man and it's horrendous speech, but one should have the right to say it, and to see how they're treating him and how they were treating Palestinian activists just a few months ago. It's been really shocking to see how far the UK has fallen.
And this gentleman, you can tell he had other issues and other things that they were arresting him for, but I guess this was the part that he was harassing people. And maybe causing physical harm to people that were there. Yeah,
that's the other side of this sort of stuff. I'll always talk about the free speech aspects, but sometimes you have to be careful about those limits. Like we were talking about, he's echoing the Westboro Baptist Church language. And I remember, what happened to Matthew Shepard. I've met Judy Shepard. She and her husband are just wonderful people. But what really scared me with the free speech discussions here is, when that happened, when they picketed his funeral, all the politicians back then, none of them wanted to do anything about it. And I don't mean telling people they can't say that speech, but creating a buffer zone. Like they used to allow buffer zones around Planned Parenthood. The Supreme Court got rid of it, which was foolish, but that's another story. They didn't even create a buffer zone because it's gay kids. Do you know what the Westboro Baptist Church did? They then, a few years later, started doing the same heinous protests outside of military servicemen who died in Iraq. They would start protesting those funerals. So I always remind people, you should be careful. Free speech is a good thing, but if you're not going to take it seriously of making sure people are protected, there are buffer zones, that sort of hate always spreads, and that's what we saw at that situation. England also has a ton of anti-immigrant hatred, which it's a little bizarre. You guys conquered most of the world. Half the planet has a direct right to citizenship in the UK, as far as I'm concerned. So where is that coming from with them?
Yeah, they're all there, and it's just, words do matter.
Mm-hmm. And on that, these next words are, there is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.